Alright, this lesson we're looking at dealing with algebraic fractions, so fractions that has letters in them. So starting with simplifying fractions, there are two simple steps you need to follow. If there's any common factors within the fraction, you want to take them out, and then if you want to cancel out these common factors to simplify fractions. So let's look at this first example here. Right away, you can see there's some common things on the top and on the bottom, and A is one of them. You can see A on both top and the bottom. But you can also see 2 as a common factor because within 8 you have 3 2's. So just to help you visualize this a little bit more, let's factorize the top. So if I factorize the top and take 2a out, so I'm just gonna do it the long way just to give you the full picture of what I'm doing. So the top has all of these things, 8a squared and b. 8 is made up of 3 2's, as you can see. A squared is made up of a, and b is just b. And on the bottom of the fraction, we have 2a. So as you can see, we have the 2 and the a in common. Hence, we want to take that out and leave the rest, which are 2a and b. So that's 4ab, like this. So we've factorized the top, and we just write the bottom as is. And this way we can visualize that the 2a's common on both bottom and the top, meaning we can cancel it out. So when we cancel things out, it becomes 1. It's the same idea of having like 2 over 2, and you can, like 2 goes in here once, 2 goes in here once, and becomes 1 over 1, and 1 over 1 is just 1. That's the idea that we're dealing with here. So 2a over 2a just becomes 1 over 1, which is just 1. So all of this just becomes 1 times 4ab, which is just 4ab. And the second bit here, there are there are a few different ways to look at this fraction. First way is to look at it as 2 separate fractions. Because there's an operation in the middle, you can see it as 3 over 3 minus 9x over 3. So this sort of applies to both of these terms. So this is the same as how it's given to us. So 3 over 3 is just 1. And 9x over 3, 3 goes in here once, 3 goes in here 3 times. So this can become 3x as well. And that's our final simplified version. Or if you don't like doing it this way, you can factorize the top. So we want to factorize 3 minus 9x. Well, right away you can see 3 is in common. So you can write as 3 1 minus 3x. So that's the factorized version. And if we consider the bottom bit here, these two cancel out, so all we're left with is this bit here, which is the same as the one here. So you can do it either way, whatever is easier for you in your brain. So that was to simplify. Now we can multiply, and as you remember, multiplying fractions is the best one out of all the operations because it's the most simple to do. So you multiply the top, multiply the bottom, and when you do, you will get, actually, this is a bad example. Let's do this one first. So multiply the top together, you have 6 times a plus 1. Let's write it like that. And then you have a times 12, which is a 12a. And then what you can do right away is cancel these 2 out. So 6 goes in here once, 6 goes in here twice. So you have you have a plus 1 over 2a. and that's as much as you can do for this one. Now, going back to the first example, the reason why this wasn't the best example is because a over a is just 1. Any number or letter divided by itself, x over x, they're always 1 because they're both the same number. So what we have here is actually just this, and anything times by 1 is just that number, like 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 1 is 3. So 1 times all of this stuff is just this. Alright, next we're looking at dividing fractions. When we divide fractions, we want to follow the process of keep, change, and flip. So we keep the first term, change the sign to multiplication, and flip the up and down of the last fraction. So this will look like 2x minus 4 over 3. So keep this one, change the sign, flip this upside down, and then now you carry on like it's multiplication. So you do 6 times 2x minus 4 over 3 times x minus 2. And then you can see there's 3 in common. So this becomes 2, this becomes 1. So your top part of the fraction becomes 2x minus 4. And the bottom is just x minus 2. You can leave it like this, and that should be fine, or you can sort of play around with it a bit more, see if you can simplify this any further to make sure that you actually have the final answer, because we want the most simplified version. And the way to do it, I would personally, unless you can do it in your head, I would sort of expand this bracket so it becomes 4x minus 4, 8, sorry, over x minus 2. And then sort of simplify this again, because I can see now 4 can go into both of these numbers. So rather than having 2 at the front, it can actually be 4. So we have 4, and inside the bracket we have x minus 2. So I'm just factorizing the top, and on the bottom we have x minus 2 as well. Now, because we have x minus 2 on the top and on the bottom, you can sort of cancel these out. They both become 1. So all we're left with is 4 times 1 over 1, which is just 4. And this next bit here, let's do this together as well. So we have 3x minus 12, 2, and we want to change the sign, and we want to flip this side, and sort of now just times things together. So I'll leave this as 4, 3x minus 12, and the bottom is 2 and x minus 4. So I'm sort of going to do the same as the first one, so expanding everything. So 4 times 3x is 12x minus 48 over 2x minus 8. And sort of see if you can factorize everything here. And I can see on the top 12 is in common, so we have 12 as our common factor and x minus 4. And on the bottom we have 2 that's in common and x minus 4 as well. So there's so much in common here. Now we need to cancel everything out. X minus 4 just goes, and 12 is 6 2's. 2 is just 1 2. So all of this just becomes, well, all of these become 1 as well, because they just cancel out and become 1. So we have 6 times 1 over 1 times 1. So that's 6 over 1, which is just 6.